All right, fourth grade. So we've already gotten through and I've taken you through the steps of making your pinch pot. Hopefully by now you've got your initials and your class code and 2020 on the bottom there. I already kind of went ahead and added a few details to the outside of my pinch pot here, but you can add whatever details that you want to. Maybe you're going to carve your name or somebody else's name into there. The sheets that you have, your reference sheets here, have some cool ideas on them as well for different things that you can add to the sides of your little pinch pot here. But we're ready to start adding some of our actual succulents or cactuses into our pinch pot. So I've kind of already made a couple of shapes here that I like. I'm kind of modeling off of this idea here, and I'm ready to start attaching things. So I can't just set this on here, because otherwise what's going to happen is the clay is going to shrink as it dries, and then as it shrinks those pieces are going to pull right apart. So what we need to do instead is something called scoring and slipping. So I'm going to actually flatten out this piece a little bit because I want it to attach kind of like that. But I'm going to take either my needle tool if it's kind of small or my fork, and I'm going to score. So I'm going to create kind of like a crisscross or an X pattern. Okay, and that's on this piece. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing on my other piece that I want to attach it to. Okay, so hopefully you can kind of see that. And now we're going to slip it. So we've scored it with our fork. We're going to slip it with water. And then we're going to squish it together. Score, slip, and squish. We always want to remember that. Those three things are very important. And then I can kind of work on smoothing it out a little bit if I want to. Sometimes taking that needle tool and kind of blending or attaching the pieces together really helps. But we want those pieces to stick together as much as possible. And sometimes when we squish things, the shape gets a little bit wonky. So I can go back in and I can try to fix that a little bit. But I think that looks pretty good, pretty similar to that drawing here that I'm going off of. Now, this one has another little lump, so I'm going to just do the exact same thing. I'm rolling out, I'm creating whatever piece that I want. I'm shaping it however I need to. Okay, having flatter parts are going to be easier to attach. I'm going to go across, I'm going to score it. I'm going to score the piece I'm attaching it to. Okay, I'm going to have this one right on top. I'm going to slip it, score, slip, and the last thing is to actually squish it on there. Okay? And the longer I hold it, probably the better. But now I've got that actually attached. It kind of looks like Mickey Mouse ears. Looks kind of fun. Okay? And then I can reshape it however I want to. But that looks about right. That's about what I want. If I want to, right now might be a good time to actually carve out and draw some of the details. So I'm not going to have like actual spikes on it, but I could draw some different details to make it look like it's all spiky, like an actual cactus would be, if that's what I'm going for. Otherwise, if it's a succulent plant, you might want to draw like the veins in the plant itself. I'm just going to go across and add some little like V's to make it look like it's got some prickly points to it. Now, I'm ready to attach this into my actual pinch pot here. So, I'm going to make things a little bit easier on myself. I'm going to cut off and make that flatter. Okay, and then I'm going to score this piece. And I'm going to score it inside my pinch pot. Now this piece is kind of top heavy, so if I try to put it in the middle, it could be a little bit sketchy, but so I'm going to put it off to the side a little bit so that maybe it's going to rest on the edge of my pinch pot. I scored both pieces. I'm going to slip it, and then I'm squishing it down. Okay, and again, it really helps to blend, to use your fingers to kind of blend those pieces together as much as you can, instead of just squishing it on there and hoping for the best, especially with these pieces that are kind of standing. But that looks pretty good. Now the next piece that I add, I might want to add a little support. I might want to put it right next to that, but each time we add a new piece, you know, we're shaping it, we're scoring it, and we're slipping it. Score, slip, and squish. I can't focus or emphasize that enough.